engine isn't just an app, you know? Funnily enough, see, has a lot of stuff to do with history, dinosaurs dying, and the one legendary player of Valorant, PROD. See, PROD is a rock thrower. A rock thrower is derived from a wallpaper engine diverting his energy into a person. Sole person. Has to be one person. If it's three people, it will die. Now, how does this wallpaper engine come to be? First, there was this rock thrower, the legendary rock thrower. Very rare. Cannot find him anymore. He got thrown in a rock. Very sad. Unfortunate. Basically, what happened to him? After he died, his remains got scattered across the earth, thus creating wallpaper engines. To be exact, there was 64 wallpaper engines. Each one of them is either in a Valorant player or some random League player. As you can tell, Tyler1 is a very good League player because he has the essence of wallpaper engine in him. Now, the whole lore behind the wallpaper engine isn't just some normal app where it's just like, ah, yes, wallpaper. No, 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 no. It's something more deeper than that. It has a more meaning to it. Now, if you look at PROD's computer, what does that have? It had something wallpaper on it. If he didn't have wallpaper engine on it, he would probably die from lack of headshots. Guaranteed. Now my buddy here, Cameron, will elaborate further on how wallpaper engine enhances their lives, makes them actually thrive in this solar system. Without it, they would just shrivel up and probably look like a Reddit mod. Continue, Cameron.
See, the thing about the Valorant users, they're all just people that stick up at the I actually had something for the rock to do, but then you just
As you heard it from him.
I actually had a good thing with rock too, and then you just like continue with PROD or what?
How do you not know Karen, how do you not know the rock thrower? Bro, that's just cool.
I actually had a thing for him too, but then you just continue on with PROD.
Yeah, I know. Do you not understand about the PROD rock thrower and Infinity? Okay, let me explain this to you. So basically, rock thrower is the whole thing. Rock thrower created the wallpaper engine. Now, PROD is one of the prime rock throwers. Expected to be a rock thrower. Now, where to find another piece of the wallpaper engine at, or where the main part of it's at, unmovable rock. Only the rock thrower can move it, aka PROD, is at the center of an IKEA. But the thing is, if you go into that IKEA, you ain't coming back out due to wallpaper engine knows you're there. It's aware of you by the time you even touch it. It will know you're there. It'll lock you in there. Basically, it's like that little funny SCP. Doesn't make sense though, but like, it happened to a couple of people. The only reason why we know about it is because, you know, it's quite obvious. It's like, basically, once he touches the wallpaper engine rock, or the living wallpaper engine, or whatever it is, probably a laptop, basically, their body combusts into, like, a side of wallpaper engine. It's just, what's the word? Just, like, crunches and just, like, grinds up. Now, continue, Cameron. Please, please, please. Explain for us this whole wallpaper converting process. That matter. So, let me explain how the rock thrower came to be. Basically, rock thrower was some random dude. He probably was like the first dude to even be here. Well, as you can tell, he threw rocks. That's literally, he's the one who killed the dinosaurs, who threw rocks at like Mars and stuff. Mans was throwing rocks at the sun. It was just bored. Then he decided to come on Earth. Be like, you know what? I'm gonna throw a rock there. Claimed it. That's where the first piece of wallpaper engine existed. I know, right? Pretty rare. It's pretty odd too. It's odd how this rock thrower just throws stuff and things either live or die. Now, since the wallpaper engine wasn't sentient at the moment, it needed something living to touch it. So it's just sitting, mining, just vibing, absorbing the energy of rock. Now, once rock thrower, you know, decided to actually look at the rock that he threw instead of just throwing another rock at it, he touched it, then bursting to life some random wallpaper engine. Obviously, the wallpaper engine wasn't developed. It was pretty small. Had nothing. It didn't even know what it was doing at the time. But see, the thing is, over time, it learned. It understood what it was doing. Then, it was able to create life, human civilization, realize it doesn't really like humans. But see, the thing is, right? It realized select people can become like the ultimate people. So it's kind of like, imagine if PROD was on like Tyler 1's level, but like he actually went outside. Because we all know PROD does not go outside. I don't even think he knows what grass is. See the difference is? Since he controls a piece of the wallpaper engine, the first wallpaper engine, he basically doesn't need anyone outside is because he already knows what it is. Looking from wallpaper engines is perfected. Basically, he can basically see through people's monitors. Hence why he was able to basically just click Q and E on Jet and headshot people. It makes sense in the long run, but in the short term, it wouldn't make any sense because you would have no clue what was happening. If I told you Tyler 1 basically was like the first legendary rock thrower, and he was the embodiment of it. It wouldn't make any sense. There's like nothing backing up, but then even there's like a lot of proof that's saying, yeah, he is the rock thrower, because like he embodies it. There's no way that he does. See, if we look at Tyler 1's stats for one, he's like 5'6", or like 6'5", one of the two. No one knows. See, the reason why he switches between these is not because, he's short. Nah, because the rock thrower originally, the man's could change his height. So he probably changes his from short to tall on a daily basis. Cameron, can you elaborate on half of this stuff I just said? Wait, no, Cameron, can you elaborate on, like, what the wallpaper engine or the rock thrower embodiment does to a person off of the research we have from studying the rock thrower? Like, I wish I had the whole rock thrower essence. Can you, please elaborate off of it? Cameron? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Can you elaborate?
About what?
How the essence of rock thrower and wallpaper engine changes a man.
See, the thing about the wallpaper engine is that it can change a person into be something that they're not. Or well, it's basically, I don't know. But it's not a quick process. It's not like you just do it instantly. It's a long process of you not being a loser. And then you actually doing something with your life that has meaning instead of just staying in your mom's basement for 30 years doing nothing. And then when you get this one vital moment in your life where if you mess it up, you will never be able to get the powers of the wallpaper.
Thank you, Cameron.
Yes.
That was my curse, He understands the wallpaper engine because he works alongside me during my research. Basically, see, right? When I was chilling in my room one of these days, right? I encountered a quote-unquote wallpaper enthusiast. This man says, he knows about it. As a professional with 4,000 hours of wallpaper engine, I think I understand of it. Obviously, you gotta know the lore of it. If you have 4,000 hours in it, of course. So basically, I'm trying to say is, now, concluding to the fact that Tyler 1 is possibly the rock thrower. We don't know what the rock thrower looks like, but we do know he has been shattered though. He didn't get shattered with like some other sad bozo. No, he just broke into pieces. No, assuming Tyler 1 owned one of these pieces, same with his girlfriend, is very likely due to the fact that he claims title as an alpha, which probably false. He plays League of Legends all day. But it could be very likely, it could be very true. Who knows? That's the thing. Wally Rock Thrower picks. I don't even think it picks. I think he's found it. I mean, if he did find it, meaning he can possibly take on PROD into a 1v1, assuming if this fight escalates beyond physical terms. They start like battling like an anime battle or something. If it does do that, that means we will see somewhat of the return of the rock thrower. Now, assuming Tyler 1 collects all pieces of this essence of the rock thrower, that means the rock thrower will make a permanent return, meaning he's back. But that's only an if. It's not true. Same with the wallpaper engine. See, since when it first started, it was one. It split it into two to split off to more people, and it's currently into four pieces as of right now in this year. But see, the thing is, that wouldn't make sense that there's multiple wallpaper engine users because only there's one of them known, one of them found. Only like a few of them can actually, commune with it. It's like in Destiny, when you're communing with the triangles. Only a few can commune with it. Some will literally just combust. Others will actually be able to intake its power. But see, the thing is, to even commune with one of these, you must have somewhat of a pure mind. You must be cracked at something. So, like, you can't be a Reddit mod. Talking to Discord kittens does not count. You know who you are. But there is another way to do it. If you possibly eat a piece of the wallpaper in it, that is very rare. You might just explode and die, but that is not gonna happen. Very rare. You see, the thing is, with the pieces of the rock thrower and the wallpaper engine, it could be possible that they link back to the back rooms due to its unknown powers. See, like in the back rooms, there's random things in it, if you do believe there's random things in it, but there's multiple levels in it. Like, you have the pool room subset and then the limo suite subset. Only known two subsets as of right now. See, if you supposedly get to the back rooms with the wallpaper engine or the rock thrower essence, it will possibly react to you, bringing you to either the final level, which isn't confirmed, or Alpha Omega, which is a different level. Basically, the control room of it. Basically, the end. But that's if. See, the thing is, if the backrooms had a portal here, which is probably in the governmental office, located down below in a mine, leads to the back room. It's guaranteed there where they're holding the rock thrower essence, probably all 5 out of 6 pieces, because Tyler 1 is a shard bearer. Now, assuming that this is right, that means there's 2 on shard bearers, meaning they only have like 3 out of 15 pieces, or my bad, 3 out of 5 pieces of the rock thrower essence. Now for the wallpaper essence, so that only 1 out of 4 has been found, this would have to correlate with how many stars are in the sky at night, how many suns are in the moon, how many moons can orbit around the Earth at the same time, meaning that there only can be approximately 3 shards, my bad, not, I guess shards would work, 3 shards remaining on Earth for wallpaper engine, because PROD owns one. The 3, wait, Ankia has one in the middle of it, 2 has been unknown, probably in the government's hands right now. We're trying to port it in and out, and maybe the rest of them are in the back rooms for all we know. Maybe in the pool room subs, who knows? But due to the unknown physicalities of the back rooms, it's unknown that you can even do that. Basically, from what I'm thinking is, the shards is basically controlling their minds from the previous lore, or from the previous rocks that have stated this. The shards are basically controlling the governmental minds to bring them into the backrooms, fuse the rock thrower there, keep them locked in, keep them sealed there, so you will never escape again, or somehow manage to get everybody and the shard bearers into one place and just detonate them all. Cameron, could you elaborate on this idea?
But the thing about Tyler 1 being the rock bearer essence, well, him being like the bearer of his essence. The thing is, a lot of the government officials are trying to capture him and take him to the mine or whatever and keep him there locked up with him so they don't ever cause a disturbance. And that's why Tyrone 1 is so jacked, because he's been training to fight off all these government officials. And so when the time comes for him to have to kill them possibly, or just beat them in a one-on-one chess match or League of Legends match, then he'll be able to.
Ah, very good observation. Either way, that part would have to be semi-theory, even though it is true that there is multiple shard bearers, which is probably only in one location. The thing is, the major thing is, like the eclipse theory, like in Valorant, assuming, actually, no, it is true, not even assuming. See, there's 2 Earths. One is orbiting in a hidden space around the main Earth, obviously. Now, assuming if the law zone here is the same one there, meaning there would be 8 rock throwers, or well, 2 rock throwers split into 8, because the pieces do divide up. Some of them mix, some of them do shatter. So pieces always doesn't matter. Since the fact that there's two shard bearers on each Earth, meaning that there's four, if those four combine with each other, that would create either the ultimate rock thrower or not. Now, it has been proven that the Earth has came here since they do have a teleporter using the essence of the sun, because if you take the essence from a random rock, break it, then you put a piece of the wallpaper engine, piece of a rock thrower in it, will create some type of energy where you're able to transport to the other Earth. Now, how they use this way, it's pretty odd. They use it to basically sabotage the Earth for no reason at all. This would create, later on, the rock thrower war. Now, how is the rock thrower war gonna happen? It's fighting over the pieces of the rock thrower to summon him over again, to basically entrap him internally to take his power. Now, the wallpaper engine, since there's 8 pieces in total, only then 2 of them being found and basically to go for the main roads, that means they would have to get all 8 pieces together, making the Ulta engine. What the Ulta engine does is unknown. It's not even known yet. Now, the reason why they want to move all this into the backgrounds is because the backgrounds is a more safer space than trying to do this into an open earth where you can kill a bunch of normal civilians, non-rock wielding civilians. It's safer and forget most of the people in the backrooms, because most of the people in the backrooms either got defiled by the rock thrower or tried to become a rock thrower by rock wielding. Rock wielding is a very ancient type of doing stuff. Basically, back in ancient Greece, before they had guns and stuff, that was like in Rome, where they actually shot people on deck, like with guns and Glock 19s. They used to throw rocks. Most of the people that got stoned to death, like by a hardcore rock with the perfect form, got exiled into the backrooms, currently fighting for their lives in an endless war. Does not matter. Now, most of these rock throwers aren't real, but they do contain a slight shard of the rock thrower, meaning that they was acknowledged by him. They did like his form. They knew how to do it. But the thing is, there was just too powerful going, so they just got rid of him, half of them. See, the thing about that, though, how could that work if a bunch of people in here still rock skip? Now, the rock throwing the whole thing is the greatest for rock skipping. That's the thing. The rock thrower, we don't know the rock thrower. But all we know is the rock thrower wouldn't approve of this. His method of rock throwing was used to destroy countries, not destroy little cool funny fish on the stone. And going off this theory that these old legendary rock throwers are in fact actually real inside the background being held captive by the government officials that are trying to extract its power, this is a very odd theory, but it can be also very true. See, the reason why the government officials would even take him for the powers to be able to control the whole world, controlling all the lizards, to merge into one robot, to basically cut the Earth in half. After they cut this Earth in half, they'll move to the other Earth, mind control people with the wallpaper engine power into downloading free wallpapers and making Ethereum miners. Now, after they make these Ethereum miners, they're gonna have enough power to do a bunch of stuff. Now, what are they going to do with this? They're going to probably challenge the rock thrower, the one that protected him from ancient evils that are going to come after 1,000 years plus into the future, which most of the officials do not know that, because none of them would plead rock throwers' cries from 1,000 years back ago. See, in 1,000 back years ago, when it was like, ancient Rome and ancient Greece was living very close together, while one had guns and the other one had rock throwing techniques. The government officials, like the ones basically, it was young back then, so they know about like everything. So they knew, so they basically kind of met rock thrower. It was like, oh yeah, that's rock thrower? He looks powerful. So what they did is, they tried to destroy him, they could not do it, but an ancient evil that basically shattered Rock Thrower, but Rock Thrower also stopped him at the cost of his rock, containing Wallpaper Engine Meta. Wallpaper Engine Meta is way different from Wallpaper Engine Ulta, making 2 different moons. So, the whole Other Earth thing, now, that one has 2 difference too. Instead of Wallpaper Engine Ulta and Meta, that one has Beta and Alpha. Now, if all of those were to come together, it go boom boom. But see, that would recreate the rock thrower image, but with wallpaper in hand. Now, what would they be able to do with this? They'll be able to destroy that ancient evil and probably recreate the universe they did now. But why would they do that if they was the one who despised him in the first place. Very odd if you think about it like that. See, going off the past lore we have here, if Tyler Woods was supposedly the rock thrower from this universe, assuming he is the shard bearer of all of them, 5 out of 6, meaning he would have to be able to stop every single government official, which going off my friend Cameron's idea of him being Jack to stop him. But the thing is, he'd be far too weak. We don't know his rock throwing structure. Same with PROD. He may be able to be unpredictable, but the thing is he can be stopped. Cameron, please elaborate on this idea how the rock throwers and the wallpaper engines do not have a plan to stop the government officials.
See, the reason they don't have a plan to stop them is because all they're thinking about is that all they have to do is get strength and get strong enough to beat them. What they aren't thinking about is that they don't want to have any allies with them, so they can only rely on themselves. While the government is able to get spies in on them and everything to monitor their moves and to come up with a top plan to capture them and everything. And then they even might have some technology that brute force alone won't be able to break through, which will in turn get them captured and run the entire world.
Ah. Now, after hearing that, so now you basically get the general plan of it. Now, if we look at this further a little bit ahead after figuring out Tyler 1 is that, then you just look at the fact that Calamitous exists. Calamitous is working under the Yar envoy. Now, everybody wants the piece of the shard bearer at this point. But see, the thing is, we don't know who has it all. Assuming that that is true, Tyler 1 the real rock thrower, they would still have to abide to the laws of the Tenno, which wouldn't work at all, because they are in fact not a shard bearer. They are not they are basically in between. See, looking at what was it, emissary of the Nine, see, they basically just chilling. See, they made their own space, realizing that this world is kind of odd, and most of them basically want both of the shards, or if not all four. But since none of them know that a different Earth exists, just besides Legendary 2 and some other League and Valorant players do know that it exists. But if you go off of that, meaning they should all know that an incoming threat would happen. Now, looking back at this, see, you would have to look at the Traveler. The Traveler was a really, really important story back then when the Rock Thrower got shattered. When the Rock Thrower got shattered, he had actually two rocks because he got split off, being Wallpaper Engine and the Traveler. The Traveler is just a circle, a literal circle. Or of the Wallpaper Engine, meaning if they all three combine, and if this is true, Traveler is a good thing, but it draws off of it. Now, if you use, that means it'll be true travelers, meaning we should be able to see it, which should be disguised as our moon, quote unquote, because our traveler is invisible, theirs is not. Now, the odd thing is, the traveler has a complex mechanicalism, meaning the rock thrower knew about this whole entire era due to its
What are you on
technology.
about?
Hey, we're looking mid group. Okay. Oh, so we're in like a whole like wallpaper engine lore thing. You want to hear it?
Oh, well,
I feel like someone just walked in on me trying to do something awkward and now I gotta explain it. Okay.
Pretty old boy. I'll be back.
Okay, so he's gonna be back. Alright, let's finish this. Where was Okay, I was thinking about the Traveler. Okay, basically, the Traveler is the key to ending all of this. Quote unquote, the key. Because since he has complex mechanic agents, like I said, now, meaning the Rock Thrower knew about these events in the past, meaning that he's either trapped in the orb or he's completely shattered. Basically, From this feast I have made, from everything gathered up, meaning the traveler is the key to bringing back the rock third to stop the ancient evils. But the thing is, the ancient evils aren't necessarily evils. They work with the rock third, meaning that it could possibly be the US government officials. Now, how would this make sense altogether? You know how they try to plot against him because of his immense power. Now, assuming that they was working against him at the start, meaning the government officials turned the people of Rome into lizards. How does this work? See, the reason why the whole Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard, the only reason why that exists is because, he was one of the people of ancient Greece, meaning he was a rock thrower originally, until he got turned into an AI robot eating lizard, which made him think and de-evolve into money and, ooh, I need your data. Now, assuming if he actually got everybody's data, what could he do with it? Nothing. Because all that data is being streamed to the traveler, meaning Rockthorn knows what's happening as of right now. Going off of that, assuming all these big tech companies know about the traveler since they all want your data going based off of that, looking at the past lore, as the lore states itself, traveler guide the way, or something like that, I don't know. It's like something on the lines of that. And basically, what that possibly could mean is the traveler is the rock thrower, meaning the evil cubes that are in space that managed to destroy him and unperfect the rock for the wallpaper engine to exist must mean wallpaper engine is either evil or good, since he has the thought of, maybe they are actually, maybe Rock Thrower is the bad guy indeed in the long run. Now, the only reason how that could be true, because he got shrunken down, since his rock got split into two, the core, and then the outside being wallpaper engine, that all in all, wallpaper engine is in fact the evil. In fact, PROD is probably the main leader working for the US government, basically went back in time, turned the people into lizards again, making them to geckos instead of lizards and salamanders, so they wouldn't evolve as fast, trying to stop all of this. As of in current, PROD, see, if you look at his recent ranked history, he hit platinum and he logged off the game really fast, meaning he knew something was up. So basically, he went to Riot headquarters. Very interesting thing. See, Riot has nothing to do with any of this. Besides, they do know the rock thrower in person. Assuming that he does have all 5, Tyler 1 does. Basically, PROD knows this. He went to the Riot headquarters and basically persuaded them to give him easier lobbies. That's the meaning, so it doesn't look bad in the light. Now, the reason why they wanted to give him easier lobbies is because since they're on lower levels, they don't think as complex as him. So he's able to turn them into lizards so they would listen to him, turn them into robots to corrupt the data to the traveler so Rock Thrower wouldn't know what's happening. Basically, you get blinded until Tyler 1 either knows that the traveler exists or is aware of the second Earth existence. Now, I know what you're saying. I basically said that you should know about the second Earth existence. If they did know about the second Earth existence, this would never have been a problem. But it's obvious that it's apparent that they don't know about the second Earth existence. Because if Tyler 1 knew about it, assuming he has 5 out of 6 pieces, and there's 1 remaining, which the government could have, because PROD is controlling the government, to keep him away from the last piece, meaning that the other one, in fact, is the real rock thrower. And he's either hiding the piece or trying to stay concealment. If he is aware of the traveler when he got struck down, meaning... Hold up. I'm gonna get this part out anyway. Meaning, he will gain all knowledge and be able to stop this at an instance. See, isn't it odd how everything is asking for your data? Because your data can basically be changed, turned you into a lizard. See, the thing is, it's not going to be some normal lizard. You're going to be some gecko. Some non-fire breathing gecko. See, what he's trying to do is, he's trying to weaken the rock thrower. See, if you go into Tyler 1's chats, it's just people being toxic and saying he's bad. See, they're trying to lower down his morale, so he would reveal himself. Then, the secret government whips out their doom rays and basically chain him. And then, bam, they contain the rock thrower permanently, destroying the traveler and merging them together, making the Ulta wallpaper engine destroyer, or the wallpaper consumer, being able to consume the wallpaper engine and mixing them both together, creating the ultimate life being. Now, like in JoJo's, how they had, like, the ultimate life being, it's not like him. Unlike him, this one's actually useful. See, you know how, like, he had high IQ. See, the thing is, he doesn't have just a high IQ. He's able to snap worlds. Now, how are they going to keep them together? They're going to keep them in this complex prison. See, Cameron, please explain this prison technique. How they're going to keep them entrapped for, like, years on years on it. Millennia, centuries, decades, perennials. Please, please, elaborate. Not even elaborate. Explain it, my bad.
Well, the secret technique is pretty simple. If you've ever been to prison, you will know this technique. So basically, the technique is basically, since he's locked up in prison, they get a rope and they restrain him and they tie him in this rope so he can't move. He can't grab anything. He's stuck. They tie him to a chair, and then what they do is they bring in other prisoners that are good, and
Hey,
then
yo, this
they
is
tell them to
yo.
then
I'm gonna have to
they
cut this
tell
off.
them they tell this, and basically they start dancing, and then he just that's how they get him to stay there because he's secretly into it, and he even went to try to sex him.
You heard. He's basically gonna get a bunch of. Yeah, the thing is, that rock thrower is homophobic. He does not like them. So when he's in the presence of a gay person, he's gonna be like, no, he can't move. Now, they're basically, like you said, they're gonna get a bunch of gay prisoners to dance around him. Hopefully nothing bad happens to him. They're gonna try and trap him, use his power, and be able to look at the second Earth. So once they're able to spot the second Earth, that is double the power. It's like when you get a double points on COD. It's basically game. Now, how are they gonna get this double power? Now, once they actually extract all the energy out of the rock thrower, assuming if they can, because he does have spiked mana, which is very hard to get around of. Now, what they're gonna do is, knowing this from the ruler and how it's written, they're going to have to manage to get the traveler, pull it down, get them to either touch or commune with each other. He's gonna go into there, he's going to come out as a boss. He's gonna have to be either beaten within, I think, a minute without transforming, or a minute with being with it or without of it connected. After that, they can have complete control. Then they're able to see the second Earth. Now the thing is, the second Earth isn't exactly the same. In this universe, the rock thrower probably already communed with it. But see, the thing is, one of them cannot know of the other. If one of them knows of the other, the whole universe is doomed. Now, hence why they always try to make you screen or like saying, oh yeah, that doesn't exist. See, looking at past histories, like with the whole moon thing, how they found live heartbeat, stuff like that. So they stated in this one game called Destiny. Now, the thing is, Destiny's Traveler is pointless because it's attracting the life force. This one is this Traveler here isn't a huge circle, but it's a huge sphere instead. It's not 2D, it's 3D. Now, this one is not necessarily attracting things, but an ancient evil is supposed to come back. And that ancient evil is most likely Wallpaper Ultima, knowing the fact that it came from there, came from its hands. Stroking down, because such good things shouldn't die, necessarily. But this is just only a piece of the lore. Many get here because I'm gonna literally die from